National anthem. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, there we go. All right. Welcome to Jim Lorenzen Field for our first home game for the Bulldogs this year. We will be having the national anthem here in just a few moments. Tonight, Bishop Heelan comes to town with a record of 0-1 after a loss last week to Sioux City East. Lamar's also enters the game 0-1. Oh, now I'm loud. Sorry about that. with a loss to Sergeant Bluff last week. We'll get to a few more things here right after the national anthem.
At this time, if everyone would please rise and join Lamar's Wasmer Post number 241 as they present the colors, and we join the Big Red Marching Band under the direction of Drum Major Abigail Tilbert as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, let's start this again. Good evening from Jim Lorenzen Field as we get into week 2 of high school football here in Lamar's, the home opener for the Bulldogs. They will be hosting Bishop Heelan from Sioux City. Always been a rival, and so it's great to get these teams back together since they are no longer in the same district, with Lamar's being in the 4A class and Heelan being in the 3A. Both teams enter at 0-1 on the season with tough losses to some very good Metro teams. We're about 3.5 minutes from the start. We'll go over a few stats here. Lamar's enters with the 0-1 record. Had a tough week offensively. Scored a late touchdown and showed lots of guts last week on the road at Sergeant Bluff. In a similar fashion, Heelan battled a very tough East team and ended up getting on the scoreboard one time. I believe they've already done the toss. Not quite sure what our call is right now. The captains will be heading out to do the fake coin toss here in a minute, I do believe.
Number 78, Nolan Hudson. At right tackle, number 67,
earlier tonight, the freshman teams battled, and Heelan came out on top by a couple scores over Lamar's, 29-14.
Number 26, Elijah Doherty, and at quarterback, number 9, Tyler Iverson.
The officials are getting the guys ready for
Your kicker this evening
the
will be
toss.
9, Giovanni Cabongo. On the defensive side of the ball, the right defensive end, number 55, Tate Select. The right side, number 72, Dominic Varenhorst. And left defensive tackle, number 69, Mitchell Markman.
Heelan comes into the game with 56 yards passing on 4 of 14 last week against East. They had 39 rush attempts for 114 yards, and that's going to be their focus. They only averaged 2.9 yards a rush last week, but as you will see here really quick, they pack a lot of guys right in the middle of the box, and they just try to get a bunch of guys in front of their ball carrier. They will pass it if they need to, but they would like to keep the ball away from Lamar's tonight, get a couple yards each rush, and just play ball control. Talking to some of the Lamar's coaches this week, they kept saying the word physical. They needed to match the physicality because this is going to be a downhill game from Heelan. Looks like Heelan won the toss and will defer. So that will mean Lamar's is going to get an opportunity to go on offense first. Last week offensively, Lamar's was 12. Yeah, 15 college, 12 high school. Last week, Lamar's had 76 yards passing and 116 yards of total of rushing offense with 4.5 yards per rush. So both teams struggled a little bit last week on the offensive side, looking to get things going this week against a new opponent, at least as far as the season goes. But the same old opponent, Lamar's and Heelan getting together like we've been doing for years and years. Lamar's does have a 2-game winning streak going against the Crusaders over the last 2 years, so looking to continue that streak. Lamar's will return the kick. From talking to some of the coaches last week, this was one of the positives. Unfortunately, they were out there more than I think they would have liked to have been as a kick return unit, but they did have positive returns. They were consistently into the 30, 35, 40-yard line, which is always a positive. So I know Coach Deercup and others have been working hard on the special teams with this group. So here we go. We're just about ready. The ball is teed up. And we're off. Sione Fafita will take the opening kickoff. And here he goes. A great return. He might go. 45-yard line is where he gets tackled. Just past the 45, short of the 50. Another great return for the Bulldogs. It's a great way to start, and that'll bring out the offense. That is a wonderful way to start, just short of the 50, make it a short field. Tyler Iverson will lead his offense out here right now. The 3 receivers to the right, flanked by Cal Eckstein, number 5 in the backfield. So we have trips to the right, little motion out to the flat. I think we had a little motion previous to the snap too, so we'll see what Heelan wants to do here. They covered it well. Looks like we're gonna number 5, Grant Hegarty, looked to be on the tackle there from his defensive end spot. Dead ball, false start on the offense. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. So going back on the first play. Not exactly what we're looking for, but Cal will come out of the game, and Elijah Doherty will enter as the back. Got a wing up on the top side, gets in a little bit of a motion. And that is David Lusink with a lot of open space. And here goes David down the sideline. Great block by number 10, Derek Allen. That'll get him down to the 11-yard line, and what a great run. Set up his blocks. Derek Allen out in front doing a great job of driving downfield. Great patience out of David Lusink and got behind Derek Allen. And that puts the Bulldogs 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. First play wasn't so great. The second play was pretty darn good. So with 11:28, the Bulldogs are in the red zone ready to put some points on the board. Lusink goes in motion. Looked like he was going forward. He can't do that. That'll take him back 5 yards again. So we'll back up a little bit. Oh, no. That looked to be on the Crusaders, so we'll get a 5-yard penalty. Make it 1st and 5 from the 7, which is even better. Kind of looked like David was creeping forward, though. I didn't hear a number on that, but it doesn't matter. It's moving the Bulldogs closer to the end zone. This is a great first drive. A little bit cut up, but great nonetheless. Keon Butcher and Elijah Doherty look to be in the backfield. The handoff to Keon, and he's got all kinds of room, and that's going to be 6 points for the Bulldogs. That did not take long, folks. Great run, great blocking, great movement. He had all kinds of space out there. The big fellas up front did their job, and that puts the Bulldogs on the board just 40 seconds in. That's exactly how you want to start. Going right down the field and taking care of business. Well, that's got to feel good for the offense that had some moments last week that, you know, they'd like to forget, and it's easy to forget them when you score like that. We got a late run on the field here. Brody Bates getting out there for the extra point. Giovanni Kabongo. Kick is up and good. And the youngin gets it done. The freshman kicker puts it right through, and that puts the Bulldogs up 7-0. So just 40 seconds into the game, and the Bulldogs are on the board. A great opening kickoff by Sione Fafita, followed by a nice long run around one end by David Lusink. And Keon Butcher took it the other way and got in for 6 in only about 4 plays. So excellent way to start for the Bulldogs. Now the defense gets an opportunity to go up against this unique, some might even say old school type of offense. A little bit of a wing T action. You'll see it. They're going to be packed in the box, and everyone's going to have to be physical and stay on. So Giovanni has teed up the ball and is ready to kick off. Back for Heelan is number 22, Sir Brandon Watts, a sophomore cornerback and running back. Giovanni gets a good boot on it, and it's up. The return from about the 12. And another good return. Both sides getting some opportunities to get some good returns, and he's still going. He got it over the 50-yard line. So a nice high kick, but still they were able to settle under it, set up a return, and take the momentum right away. That's the easiest way to flip momentum, is to have a good return after a nice drive. So the Crusaders will take over at the 40-yard line. Crusaders are led by Caleb Gangler, a 5'9", 195-pound quarterback. And no matter just like I said, they would pack it tight, and now they're spreading out. They've got 3 guys to the left. Oh, here they go. And that's what we thought would happen. There's a lot of guys close to the line of scrimmage, and they're just going to try to muscle and power and hand it to number 5. I believe that was Grant Hegarty. It's really hard to tell who that is in that muddy mess of bodies. Tackle looked to be by number 72, Dominic Varenhorst. So a nice positive gain for the for the Crusaders, excuse me, on first down. They just packed a bunch in the box, and here they go again. A little bit of motion, and he's got the edge. Good job of Derek Allen forcing him back inside. Teddy Saltzman on the run around the left end. Got turned back inside, but he did get enough for the first down. So the Crusaders will start a new set of downs here on the 26-yard line. Still early, but the teams are running up and down the field right now. Crusaders are going to take their time. They're not going to be any rush. They have one split out to the left, number 3, Levi Meese, and they're going to the right, looking to get David Lusink on the tackle, but not until they gain 9 yards. So it seems Heelan is moving the line, moving the bodies out of the way, and they're being successful with the attack that they have right now. Gangler gets a signal or the play, whatever it is, from over there on his sideline, and they will approach the line again. You can see that running back or that fullback is right next to the quarterback. I'm going to assume he's getting the, yep, and there it is. And number 89 was there right away, or was that 86, I believe? 86, I apologize. That was Alex Allen, and he was right there, but he kind of went along. Didn't have enough power in the legs to take down big number 5, Grant Hegarty. So another first down brings the Crusaders to the 13, and they're knocking on the door now for their first score of the day. 11 guys packed within about 12 yards. A little motion from the back. Number 24, Teddy Saltzman, had a nice stick by number 7 and number 2 for Lamar's. That's Riley Sadowski, and David Lusink looked to be in there on that tackle. That'll give the Crusaders a 2nd and 8 from the 11-yard line. Line up in a very familiar formation. A little bit of movement, a little counter back to the right side, pulling a guard and tackle. A great stick. Hard to tell who's in there. Might have been David Lusink again. And Alex Allen. So that'll bring up a 3rd down, something we haven't seen a whole heck of a lot of so far. 3rd and 5 for the Crusaders on their 9-yard line. Not sure what the kicking situation is for them, so we'll have to see. But this may be 4-down territory the way these offenses are moving. Pitch around the outside to number 21, Robert Cooper. And a great tackle. It looked like Cal Eckstein, David Lusink, and Riley Sadowski all on the tackle. So they may have lost a yard there. So that will bring up a early 4th down. What will the Crusaders do? They look over to coach over there on the other side. And here's a big play early. They have not thrown the ball yet. Might see a little rollout action here. Yep, there it is. Throw back. He's open, but he missed him. Not a bad call, but the execution was a little bit short. Gangler tried to throw it back to Michael Salisbury, the 6'2", 215-pound tight end, and just was a little long with it. So the Bulldogs did a little bend, don't break, which isn't always that bad against a team like this, and they'll take over at the 9-yard line, looking to replicate that first drive. They'll have to go a little bit further. Bulldogs go trips to the top side, and Tyler Iverson back to take the snap. Motion out of David Lusink again. we're going to have motion again. Still not set. It looks like there's some movement, maybe some flinching from the men up front. So have to clean that up in order to – we've survived at the first drive, but you can't keep going back every couple plays. That's not going to be a very consistent recipe for success. So out comes Derek Allen. In comes Alex Allen. And now they look like they're going to put a little bit of a wing action in here. Double wing. Tyler under center. Hands back to the running back who gets an opening, and that was Elijah Doherty with a great run. Just kept his feet churning and muscle it out to about the 18-yard line, 17-yard line, excuse me. So it goes from 2nd and 15, and they hurry up and get right on the ball right away. And they might just run the same play. Here he goes again. He keeps churning the legs, and they keep missing tackles, and good things are happening. So after being buried deep in the end zone, or in their territory, I should say, the Bulldogs dig out of it and have a little bit more space to breathe. So a new set of downs now will give us a couple receivers wide. Our wing closest to us. Another handoff to Doherty, looking to maybe get a little bit outside. Muscles forward for a couple yards. Wasn't a whole lot there, but he had some blockers out in front of him, pushing people around and making just enough of a crease to be successful there. So any type of positive yards are going to be good. And that gives us a 2nd and 8 from the 26. Two receivers to the bottom side. Looks like Derek Allen and Keon. David Lusink's going to try to run around the edge again. Didn't quite get it sealed. And number 5, Hegarty, will get that tackle. He just stayed outside and would not let Lusink go. I think big Brandon Vanderslice was out there trying to move him, and he wasn't cooperating, I guess I'll say. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 15, a position that Lamar's hasn't been in yet today on 3rd down. And just like Heelan hadn't thrown the ball much early on their first drive, Lamar's hasn't thrown the ball yet either. So it looks like we'll probably get a little bit of a pass here from Tyler Iverson, I would guess, unless we're going to run a screen of some sort. Cal Eckstein to the wide side, down to number 31, lots of space, and that's going to be close. Reese Spieler on the catch, and I think we're going to get a first down. Great throw, great catch, great execution by the Bulldogs to move it forward. So 3rd and 15, no big deal. We'll just throw, catch, and get that first down for us. So great job by Eckstein and Spieler to get the yards they needed and get a new set of downs. Great drive so far for the Bulldogs. Lusink in motion, looking to get outside again, uses speed. And they're going to do it. They did another great job of just stretching it out. They're not going to let them get outside again. I think the first time it happened, they were kind of surprised, and coaches made an adjustment, and they're not going to let Lamar's get outside as of right now. So that shouldn't be a problem, though. Elijah Doherty has run successfully between the tackles pretty well. So Lamar's with 4 minutes left in the first quarter, excuse me. It's a 2nd and 12. Motion from David Lusink. Tyler on the scramble, looks to make a run, gets back to just beyond the original line of scrimmage. I think Reese maybe had a step on him, and Tyler got a little pressure, couldn't quite pull the trigger on that, but that'll bring up a 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs. Last time it was 3rd and 15. This time it's a 3rd and 8. The good news is, no matter what happens here, is the Bulldogs got it out of their end zone. So with a punt, they should be able to flip the field a little bit if they have to. But obviously, first things first, let's try to get this first down, or at least a manageable 4th down, and who knows what coach wants to do on that. Keon Butcher, plenty of space. Great block Oh, they're going to call a hold on that, and I don't necessarily agree, but I'm biased. They're going to call David Lusink on that hold, and I think he did a great job of blocking, and the guy just kind of quit and threw his arms up. But it is going to come back from the spot, so it's going to end up being a 3rd and 12. So that'll be a big loss, but it was a great play, and I think David was doing the right thing. I don't fault him on that. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 12. Alex Allen out of the game, Derek Allen in the game. Two receivers to the bottom side, Allen and Butcher. On the top side, we look to have Reese Spieler and David Lusink in the. David Lusink right there. Space. Great blocking by Keon. Oh, just going to be short of the first down by about 4 yards. You could tell the last play with the hold kind of made Keon a little bit nervous. He didn't want to be caught out there getting another holding call on a positive play. So that'll send out the punt team. This is the first punt from either team. So on 4th and 3 from the 43-yard line, is that, I believe that's number 24, Mason Gangler. Nice spiral of a punt, which always gets that roll. Nice stick, sneaky little return. Sneaky return, and we'll see what the flag is here. Holding on the Crusaders, so that'll push them back from, what is it, the 27-yard line back to the 17. So that's a much better position. They will keep possession, however, because it happened during the kick. So Gangler trots on the field, ready to go. Bring his offense back out here. They had a nice first drive, got it down to about the 10-yard line, 9-yard line, and couldn't quite punch it in. So we'll see if the Bulldogs can hold firm a little bit earlier this time. Pitch back to number 22, I believe, Sir Brandon Watts, and he had nowhere to go. Cal Eckstein, David Lusink were all on that tackle. This is going to be a gang tackle situation all night long. You're not going to be able to tackle them with just one because they have so many blockers in front of the ball carrier. So that brings up a 2nd and 11 for the Crusaders. They get in their double wing. Their tight ends there. Fullback very tight. Looked like he may have fumbled the snap. Got a little dicey. Number 26, is that Elijah again? 26, Elijah Doherty on the tackle. Looked like there was a little bit of a fumble on the snap, which would have been very, very tough. So here goes another 3rd down play. I think you're going to have to throw the ball here if you're the Crusaders. They break the huddle with 20 seconds left on the play clock. Plenty of time for all 11 guys to go stand really close together and see what they can do here. Motion by number 21, Watts. No, that's Cooper, excuse me. And then a little pitch back. The Dogs should hold there. And that may take us to the end of the first quarter. Dominic Varenhorst on the tackle. And that will bring up a flip of the field for the second quarter, I believe, unless they want to punt it here before the end. David Lusink will be back to return it either way. And number 11 will be punting for the Crusaders. And that'll be it. So at the end of the first quarter, Lamar's took the first drive, went down, scored in just a few plays, and that will give them the lead after one. So we will be back in just a couple minutes.
There's a lot of vowels in there. Time will tell.
All right, the band's got the student section singing Sweet Caroline over here, which has all the Iowa State fans excited for tomorrow. We have a little bit of rain falling, but you know what? We got fans back in the stands. We got student section full. We got the band, got the cheerleaders. We're not all the way back, but we're feeling good about the situation we're in right now. So a little bit of rain falling tonight right now is not going to hurt anybody. If you're not out here and you're just watching and you want to come on out and support. That's the best way to support all of these athletes. We'll talk about some of the other sports here that will be coming up over the next week a little bit later. So they got the chains ready, 12 minutes on the clock, and Lamar's looking to get the ball back. David Lusing standing ready at the 50-yard line. And the punt, nice fair catch. Oh, number 19 kind of got in there. Salisbury got in there, but the Bulldogs will have the ball at the 45-yard line. So, much like the first possession where they went down in just a few plays and scored, with good field position, the Bulldogs look to do it again. Iverson takes the field. We got Derek Allen down here with Keon Butcher. That'll put Keon in motion. Again with the motion. Whoa, whoa. We've had that a few different times. That's something that will drive coaches crazy. So we'll back it up 5 and try that first down again. Reese Spieler and that looks to be Connor Jalis will be the eligible receivers down here to this side, with Reese being the wide out. Allen and Butcher to the top side. Got the playoff there, and Riley Sadowski gains about 3 yards right up the middle to just past the 50-yard line. Second and 13. Alex Allen comes in on this formation. More of almost a tight end rather than the normal split wide. And when Alex comes in, we seem to get this tighter formation. Tyler Iverson gets under center with Keon in the backfield and Riley Sadowski. And Riley puts his head down and gets up to about the 46, which will give them a 3rd and 9. Still a lot of options here on 3rd and 9 for the Bulldog offense. If you get a few yards, you're in a perfect position to be a 4-down territory, and that might be what coach is thinking here as he goes with that tight formation again. Doing their best to keep the ball on the ground. Tyler hands off to Keon. Keon gets very close to the first down. I think he's going to be just short of it. Great job blocking on the perimeter. Keon's had some luck, some fortune getting around the edge there. And so that'll bring a 4th and 2. Big play here. Coach Vigdahl looks at the script and says, what do I have here? Off comes Alex Allen, in comes Derek Allen. And the Bulldog crowd gets excited to see what we got here. This would be a great first down. Crusaders have committed a lot of men to the line of scrimmage here. Some motion. And Sadowski is going to be very close. I think he got it. The guy on the top side, although, does not think he got it. So I am not sure. If we go by the official on the top side, I think that the Crusaders are going to take over. All right, well, just short. Kind of surprised they didn't put it down and measure it. But that will bring up a first down for the Crusaders. So a few minutes here, or a few minutes into the second quarter, and Crusaders take over on downs. There was motion there, it looked like. A nice fill by linebacker Elijah Doherty. Scraped right underneath the blocks, saw the hole and found the opening. Tackled him at the line of scrimmage, so not a whole lot there for the Crusaders. We'll see what they bring on a 2nd and 10. This has been a ground and pound type of game. We played a quarter and a half and almost, and we're just at the 30-minute mark. So a little bit of motion, a little bit of buck sweep, and there's a counter, and that's a tough play to defend because there's so many guys going in so many different directions. Number 24, Teddy Salzman on the carry. And that will give him, that'll put him in a very manageable 3rd and 1, especially for a team that likes to run the ball like they do. So I would assume we can expect to see another run between the tackles, probably to number 5, Hegarty. If it's not just a QB sneak by the quarterback himself. There goes Hegarty, and he is going to muscle his way up there. Didn't get much, but didn't need much. So that'll put him just over the 50-yard line, right on the 50-yard line actually, but that will be enough for a first down. So the Crusaders earn another set of downs. Last week, the Crusaders ran the ball 39 times for 114 yards, and they're going to continue to run the ball. Looks like Cal's going to stretch this out. Great defense, great rally. Cal stretched it out. There was a couple guys in there. Elijah Doherty, Alex Allen. Reese Spieler looked to be in on that, so much like Heelan's done to Lamar's a couple times, they stretched it out and would not let them get outside. So that'll bring up a 2nd and long. And they're going to roll out. This is going to be a pass. Haven't seen many of them. Allowed the catch, and then David got the tackle. David Lusink right in good coverage. Tackled big number 19, Michael Salisbury. Tight end. We haven't seen many passes, but that was a successful one for the Crusaders. A nice little boot action. Carried out his fake, and then got out to the open flats and just let some athletes be athletes. Looks like they might be going a little bit smaller here. We might actually see a spread formation for the first time tonight out of the Crusaders. Looks like they have number 15, Knoll, in the game. And we do have a little bit more space in there. Looks to be some sort of, great break on the ball by Derek Allen. I thought maybe he was going to intercept that for a second. Pass was to Levi Meese by Gangler, and Derek Allen was all over it. He was not scared about getting beat over top, and he just sat and squatted on the route and did a great job of breaking that one up. So that'll bring up another punt for the Crusaders. Number 11, Sabanos, will be back to kick, and David Lusink will be back to receive. He's standing on his own 20. I wouldn't think this is fake territory, but A nice high punt. Does have to give him room to catch that. I'm not sure he gave him that space, but apparently they weren't too worried about it. So the Bulldogs will take over at the 25-yard line. So the first two drives were very successful for both teams. Lamar's got some points. Crusaders did not, but they drove down the field and Lamar's defense held. Since then, it has been punts and a turnover on downs a couple times. So see if Lamar's can change that halfway through this second quarter. 13 seconds on the play clock. The play's getting in. Lamar's goes with a 2x2 set with, I believe that's Elijah Doherty in the backfield. Yes, it is. Elijah Doherty with the carry. Keeps his feet going. Earned a couple solid yards there, which will put him in a decent 2nd and 8. Looked like they had some RPO work there. Alex Allen will be coming in. Derek Allen will be exiting. Looks to be more of a tight formation when Alex comes in. So Keon Butcher in the backfield along with Elijah Doherty. The wing is David Lusink. And number 19, Michael Salisbury, got in there and really caused an issue with that. Looks like he went right across Brandon Grossenheider's face and just slanted out. And that's a really tough play for a tackle or a guard when the end does something like that. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs, looking to continue this drive. Bulldogs going to a trip set down here with Alex Allen, Keon Butcher, and David Lusink, and Reese Spieler up to the top. Crusaders look to be bringing some pressure. And again, they go back to Spieler. Makes a great catch, contact, and he fights off the contact. Great ball by Tyler Iverson. Great catch by Reese Spieler. The defensive back looked to make a play on the ball rather than on the man, and what ended up happening was he ended up not being able to wrap up and make that tackle. So another 3rd down conversion for the Bulldogs. They've had a few of these tonight. It's been a nice thing to see. Maybe we can string together a couple more and get one more score here before halftime. Tyler under center, barks out the cadence. Elijah up the middle, pushing and driving. Gains about 7 or 8 yards, I would say, 7 yards. And that will put him at a 2nd and 3, just short of the 50-yard line. 4 minutes and 25 seconds left in the first half. A very, very quick-moving first half. Keon moving around a little bit out here. Tyler getting them in order. There is no safety help. They're just packing it in the box. So I would venture to guess that it won't be too long before Lamarche tries to take a shot maybe on the outside. 2nd and 3 from midfield. Looks to be a good time to do that. So we'll see what Coach comes up with after this timeout. Didn't feel comfortable with what they had, so decided to switch it up. As the teams are talking it over, let's look at some of the other things going on around Lamar's community as we've entered the first full week of school. The volleyball team has started their season. They're currently 1-4 to start the season. They've had a couple tough ones as they've battled through the first week. Last night was a conference opener. They battled a very tough Council Bluffs AL team. Peyton Wright led the team with 28 assists. Kelsey Firehelm had 2 blocks, and Sarah Brown had 16 digs. Their next match will be next week on Thursday. They have a few days to rest and get ready for the next conference match, which will be at Sioux City East on Thursday night. So if you get a chance, go out and support the ladies and get that taken care of. So the Bulldogs take over and go nowhere. Nice tackle by number 33, and number 7, Caden LaFleur, for the Crusaders. So that puts the Bulldogs in a 3rd down and 4, 3rd down and 5. They've been comfortable on 3rd down. They haven't been perfect, but they've been comfortable. I don't think they're afraid of it, but we'll see. We'll see what Coach brings up here. Just over 3 minutes left in the first half. They're just going one-on-one down here with Reese, so I can't imagine we're not going to take another chance at that. Tyler Iverson on the run here. If we can get the edge, there's room to run. Great run. Protect that ball, Tyler. There we go. A great run around the edge. Great blocking on the perimeter. And Tyler put the ball away and got that first down. So with 3 minutes and 6 seconds left in the half, Lamar's gets a new set of downs at the 38-yard line, moving the ball. Plenty of time, 2 timeouts still in their pocket. And they go to that more of a tight set with the wing. Keon and Elijah in the backfield. The ball goes to Elijah, and there's an opening. Looks to gain about 3 or 4 yards, maybe 5 yards on that first down. That play's been successful in that tight formation, but they don't seem to be respecting Tyler on a roll here, so might be an opportunity for some sort of bootleg off of that too before too long. So 2nd and 5 from the 32 with 2:20 left on the clock for the Bulldogs. Tyler in shotgun formation. 2-by-2 set. We are going backwards again, it looked like. We were trying to get some motion. Tyler was pumping the leg to try to get someone to go in motion. Didn't happen. And if it did, it was the wrong person. So that'll put us back at 2nd and 10 here. Bulldogs have been successful on offense. They've been moving the ball. So here we are again in shotgun formation. There's just one safety, so there's not a whole lot back there. So if there is an opportunity, the motion brings a blitzer, and there's that shot. There's that. Oh, it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen. There's no over-the-top coverage, and actually David Lusink was right down the middle of the field, and he was wide open too. So you've got to think that Coach Vigdahl is going to be coming back to that before too long. So with 1 minute and 54 seconds left in the half, 3rd and 10 from the 37-yard line. Coach is walking on the field like he wants a timeout, but I don't think they gave him. There it is. So Lamar's will use their 2nd timeout here with just under 2 minutes left in the first half. This is a big game here in Northwest Iowa tonight for these two teams, and both teams looking to get that first win on the season. 1:54 on the game clock. Mr. Copperwood will get that taken care of. Other district games tonight. Ames is taking on Fort Dodge at Ames. Fort Dodge is now in our district. That's a new one we haven't seen very often. Denison is taking on Council Bluffs AL, and that game's being played in Council Bluffs. OA-BCIG, I think 2-time defending state champ, will be taking on Storm Lake tonight. Spencer is hosting Mason City, and Webster City, another one we haven't seen much of, is playing Boone tonight. So those are the district games. It's a little bit different playing in a district with some of those guys that we haven't seen very often, so it'll be a unique and new year. Tyler swings it out to Keon. If he can make one miss, he might have an opportunity to make a play. Goes right through somebody's face mask. Number 22 came up and did make the tackle, Sir Brandon Watts. And that will give Lamar's, that's going to be a penalty, and that's going to give Lamar's a first down. That is something that cannot happen. Lamar's was going to have to decide if they wanted to go for it on 4th down at 4th and 2, and something was said by someone in a white jersey that is not recommended. So that will give Lamar's great field position, 1 timeout, 1:38. First down and 10 from the 15-yard line just before half. The clock will start going here, so not sure it should have, but we'll run it anyways. That's what the official says. Tyler in the shotgun. Elijah Doherty to his right. Keon in motion. David Lusink right down the middle. We called it earlier, and there he is. No safety help, and that's a touchdown, David Lusink. You could see that one coming. A great throw. Those are some of the hardest catches when they're that wide open. All right, looks like the Bulldogs are going to go for 2 here. Going to go for 2 here right before half with 1:20 left in the first half. Must be pretty confident in whatever they have. That's a different formation. And there's a lot of room on the edge. Push it in. There it is. A little trickeration. They step to the left a couple positions, and that'll get 2. So we have somebody down. I'm not sure who it was. Maybe David Lusink maybe got the wind knocked out of him there. He did have a collision at the end of that play, but that puts the Bulldogs up 15-0. The fight song's playing in the corner because the band's ready for halftime, and we are David Lusink's up and ready. And looks like he's laughing about it. Probably just got the wind knocked out of him there. David's a tough kid. Gets a pat on the butt from Coach Vigdahl, and he's ready to go. Touchdown and 2-point conversion for David. So last time the Bulldogs kicked off, Heelan about took one to the house. So we'll have to make sure that we do a great job of coverage this time. Last time was not probably one that they were real excited about. We'll see how it goes here. Been a very good first half for the Bulldogs. Kicking off will not be Giovanni Cabango, who was kicked off previously. It will be number 15, Sione Fafita. So Sione is an athlete. Sione is ready to do whatever, and Coach calls on him to kick the ball, and that is what he will do. So the whistle is blown, 1:20 left. Long strides, deep kick. Number 5 will fumble it at about the 15-yard line, and then great coverage from there. He did end up getting 10 yards out of it, but that leaves Heelan a long ways from the end zone right now. So they're not a explosive type of team that is going to have a bunch of those, but it's early. And just as we saw Lamar's pull out a little trick down there on the goal line for the 2-point conversion, I'm sure Heelan's practiced a few of these. So Caleb Gangler will go in shotgun for, I believe, the first time that we've seen him do this. So snap is low. Pass is out and incomplete to number 24, Teddy Saltzman. Caleb Eckstein was right there on coverage. They're going to be okay with catching it underneath. That's not going to hurt us. So will Heelan try to throw the ball again, or will they just try to get to halftime? My guess is they pack it tight and try to get to halftime here, and I'm wrong. Looks like they are going to spread it out here a little bit. They are going to hand it off, though. We'll see if Coach decides to burn that timeout or just let him go. 1 minute left. I see Coach Van Otterloo asking, well, do you want a timeout or do you want to wait? Might as well wait now, get a stop, and then make them punt it after this, I think. And maybe you've got something up your sleeve with about 20 seconds left in the half. They do run the ball. And number 55, that was Tete Salette on the tackle. And Coach Van Otterloo does call a timeout. And we'll have about 24, 25 seconds left on the clock. So this will force the Crusaders to punt the ball. Will give us an opportunity for a play or two maybe. We will have no timeout, so a good return or maybe even a snap over the punter's head wouldn't be a bad idea.
Down to the Booster Club, both near the concession stand to claim your prize.
So at halftime, the band will be on. So we'll let you enjoy that entertainment while we get some stats and get some things ready. It's been a quick moving, successful first half for the Bulldogs. The defense did some bend, don't break there for a while. The offense has had two nice long drives to score, aided by some very, very important third downs. So the Crusaders line up in their punt. Lamar's looks to be maybe in some sort of punt safe. They're going to go block this maybe. There's nobody back to return, so it's got to be a catch and punt for the young man back there for Heelan. Catch, punt, and Heelan will let that ball roll and take as much time as possible. They won't touch it until the official tells them he has to. With 12.9 seconds, Lamar's will take over at their own 33. No timeouts. Not sure if they'll take many chances here or just try to get to halftime with a two-score lead. Either way, great showing so far by the Bulldogs. Tyler Iverson has made some key throws. David Lusink has made some catches. Reese Spieler has made some catches. Looks like we're going to go in victory formation. Usually this is the best formation in football, especially when it's at the end of the game, but we'll reserve it for a pretty darn good end of the first half. So Tyler will take a knee, and the Bulldogs will enter up 2 scores over the Crusaders. So after a very, very entertaining between the tackles first half, the Bulldogs will go in up 2 scores. We will be back after a little bit. Coach Deercup's jacked. He's excited about it. He's going to go down and talk to the team with Coach Wickers and the rest of the staff, and we'll be back here in just a little bit.
So this is going to be live the whole time, right? Just no sound?
Let's get your graphic tickets up. Winning numbers are posted.
Actually, it's on right now, so I don't care.
Also, have your keys.
It's still on.
Kick.
Okay.
Coming out of the field now.
Does this pizza thing happen before the band?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, your keys halftime pass and gentlemen, the Big Red Marching Band has a rich tradition of excellence in marching, concert, and jazz band. For the last 30 years, the band has performed in Orlando, Colorado Springs, Anaheim, and Winnipeg, Canada. The band has been chosen as a guest honor band at the Iowa Bandmasters
That's pretty
Conference,
fast.
Iowa State University Conductor Symposium, the University of Northern Iowa, and Northwestern College. In that time, the band has amassed over 85 Division I ratings for its major ensembles.
All right, great job by the LCHS band with one of their performances. Some halftime stats for those interested. Lamar's has 192 total yards, 131 on the ground, and 61 through the air. No turnovers, which has been huge. Heelan has a total of 51 yards. So most of that coming on that very first drive where they moved the ball down to the 9-yard line. They have 45 yards rushing and 6 yards passing. Individual leaders for both teams. Tyler Iverson has thrown 6 times, completed 5 of them for his 61 yards. Gangler is 1 for 4 for his 6 yards. Leading receivers for the Bulldogs, Lusink has 3 receptions for 37 yards. Oh, excuse me, this is rushing, I apologize. Lusink has 3 rushes for 37 yards. Doherty has 7 rushes for 36 yards. Butcher has 4 for 31. Iverson has 3 carries for 20 yards, and Sadowski has 3 carries for 7 yards. On the other side of it, Saltzman has carried the ball 6 times for 18 yards. Cooper has 6 carries for 17 yards, and Hegarty has 3 carries for 14 yards. Receptions, there's only been 1 for the Heelan Crusaders. They have 1 for 6 from Salisbury. Spieler has 2 huge third down, 15-yard catches that have converted and helped them keep a drive alive. So he has 2 for 30. David Lusink has 2 for 23 and a touchdown. And Keon Butcher has 1 for 8. So offensively, the Bulldogs have really dominated in comparison to the Crusaders. Defensively, Lusink has 4 tackles. Doherty has 3. Alex Allen has 3 tackles, 2 of them were tackle for losses, and Cal Eckstein has 2. Derek Allen, Drew Gallus, Tate Salette, and Tegan Kazel all have 1 tackle. On the defensive side for Heelan, their top tacklers are Fitzsimmons, Watson, De Leon all have 3. Clary, Fulton, Halber, and LaFleur both have 2. The Bulldogs are taking the field here with 2 minutes left. They'll come back out, and they'll be kicking off to start. The highlights for the first half pretty much come down to 2 drives. The first drive for the Bulldogs was capped off by a 7-yard run by Keon Butcher. After just a few plays, there was a couple penalties, and they dodged those bullets. And the big play on that one wasn't even a play on the offensive side. It was a special teams play. 42-yard return to start the game off for Sione, and got the Bulldogs in great field position and allowed them to finish that one. The second big drive for the Bulldogs was the last drive that they had prior to the downing the ball in victory formation. That was capped off by a Tyler Iverson pass to David Lusink for 14 yards right up the middle. We saw it a couple plays earlier. They had no safety help, and you could tell that was just going to get called eventually. So Lusink also finished that off with a rush for the 2-point conversion to give the Bulldogs a 15-0 lead going into halftime. Have 2:20 left. Let's see if we can find some more scores around the area. Remsen St. Mary's is up on River Valley at half, 45-0. These are from ScoreStream, so I'm hoping they are ready to go. Boyd and Rock Valley and Western Christian they're just getting started here about 8 o'clock. Due to the shortage of officials, the officials that did the MOC and Unity game did that game at 5:30 and then rushed up to Boyd and Rock Valley Western game. So maybe a little plug for anybody that would like to be an official. I know it's nice to go and watch your Bulldogs and do those types of things, but we need good officials. We need good people out there doing that. So that's why that game's 0-0. That one just started. Right around halftime, West Sioux is up 28-7 over Sioux Center. Sergeant Bluff up 21-7 over Central Line George Little Rock. Central Line George Little Rock had a great run last year, returned a bunch of guys, and it's had kind of a tough start to start the year. So they have played some tough teams, so it's not like they have a bunch of cupcakes out there. IKM Manning over Westwood, 14-0. I don't have a score on the Galen game as of right now. They're over at HMS, so I'm not quite sure what the score is there. MMCRU at halftime, 6-0 over Hinton. South O'Brien and Sheldon are playing. Score on here is 0-0. And doesn't look like we have a bunch of other scores. Cherokee and West Monona. Cherokee is up 13-12 over West Monona. Esterville over West Lyon, 20-0, in maybe a little bit of a surprise to some. That Esterville team is pretty solid, because you know West Lyon is probably one of the best coached teams in Northwest Iowa. They have a tradition like no other, and so that's a great squad there too. MOC fell short to in-town rival Unity Christian tonight, 12-8. So MOC, I think, will be one of the Bulldogs' opponents here coming up. Giovanni has teed it up, kicks it back to the 5, and that was a boot. There is great coverage if we can make that tackle. What a kick and what great coverage. Lamar's looked to be pushing the envelope there at the 40, almost offsides, but when the flags don't come out, it's not a penalty, I guess. And so a great kick coverage, and that's going to make this offense for Bishop Heelan really have to work to get down and get their first score of the night. So they will take over to start the second half at the 13-yard line. And they pick up right where they left off, going right up the middle. I believe that was number 21, Robert Cooper, was the ball carrier right there. So that will put them at about 2nd and 5. Had to pose for a picture there real quick. So 2nd and 5 here to start the second half. Heelan gets in their tight formation with their wings. One goes in motion, get a puller. The quarterback kind of becomes a lead blocker on this. You just can't quit on this because there's so many guys in front of the ball carrier. Another carry for Cooper, who just dropped the ball in the middle of the field instead of handing it to the official. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Bulldogs, looking to get off the field here on defense. Just got a report that not too long ago, HMS was up 16-14 over Galen. So we'll see. We'll have to see if that holds up, or if Galen can make the comeback. Another pitch to the running back that was in motion. He may have gotten the first down, but they also may have held. So this may be going backwards. Cooper made a nice move just to get back to where he could get the first down, but it looks like they held on the outside. Oh, tripping. So my assumption is that somebody fell down and couldn't sustain their block, so they stuck their foot out and just tried to trip them. Can't do that. So that will bring up a 3rd and 10. Alex Allen comes out, had a little blood on him. And number 80 comes in. That's Drew Gallus. Sophomore Drew Gallus comes into defensive end. There's a pass to the 30-yard line, but it didn't look like there was any receiver home. So that'll give the Bulldogs the ball back. Great stand after a penalty that goes against the Crusaders, and the Bulldogs should get favorable field position here as they trot on the punt return team. The Bulldogs have 10 on the field right now. I'm not quite sure. So someone did not make it out there on punt return. Sometimes with injuries like that, it happens. The punt is get out of the way, so that doesn't hit anybody, and that's going to be back maybe at the 39-yard line. So the Bulldogs are in great position to put up another score here. So they'll take over the 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Opening night for the Bulldogs at home anyways. Bulldogs line up, tight backs. And Elijah Doherty's going around the edge. Puts his shoulder down, finishes the play, and gets another couple yards after contact. A great run by Elijah. There was nobody home out there on the short side, and he put his shoulder down and finished that run with a little bit of force, which is nice to see. So that'll be a 1st down for the Bulldogs and get them up to about the 28-yard line. And they're going to flip the formation here. Derek Allen up to the top side. Keon Butcher down here. Hand off to Doherty. He's slipping out of tackles. It finishes again, throwing shoulders into anybody that wants to step in his way. He's fortunate enough to see some of these guys working their tails off this summer, and Elijah was one of those guys that really worked hard in the weight room to get himself stronger after last season, and you can tell he's feeling comfortable finishing those runs. So that gives Bulldogs a couple yards here. Fake to Keon, and Elijah has space. Now it's going to be speed. Gets him down to about the 7 or 8 yard line. We have a Crusader down. Number 7, Caden LaFleur. So that puts the Bulldogs 1st and goal, looking to punch in another one here to start the second half, and I don't think you could have started the second half much better than how we have right here. 3 and out, followed by a march down the field. A score here would do a lot because Heelan has struggled offensively tonight because of the stiff Lamar's defense. And that's Jalis, Connor Jalis, I believe that is number 23. Yes, Connor Jalis with his first carry of the night. Had a little bit of opening, but they closed well. Looked like number 33 and De Leon both on the tackle. Number 28, 33 and 28 for Heelan on the tackle. So that will bring up a 2nd and 9, or 2nd and goal from the 9, I should say. Trips to the bottom side. 3 receivers, Reese Spieler to the top. I'm going to bet you see a pass to Reese Spieler here if they don't shift over, because he's going to be open on a slant. Nope, handing it to Doherty. He's been a workhorse on this drive and gets him down to the 5. So I would venture to guess this is possibly a 4-down territory. Alex Allen in, Derek Allen out, which probably means we're going to get a tight set here. You'll have Alex Allen on the top side, Reese Spieler on the bottom side, Connor Jalis as a wing, Doherty and Butcher in the backfield. Might be running right up the middle here. There it is. Not a whole lot of space. Got back to the, didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. Actually lost a yard there. A lot of penetration by the big guys up front from Heelan. So that'll force a 4th and 6. Alex Allen out, Derek Allen in, which makes you believe we'll have a little bit more of a spread formation. Coach Vigdal just looked down to Coach Van Otterloo, said, what do you think about this? And he said, I think they came to the conclusion they're going to now kick this. So Giovanni heads on with the extra point team, field goal team. Excuse me, it's not an extra point this time. Giovanni's going to have to get those steps and get them going, because you have 3, 2, the snap, the kick, the hold, the kick. No good. So good teammates pat him on the helmet and say, it's all right, we'll get you next time. And the Crusaders will take over. After a missed field goal, I'm wondering, yes, a missed field goal that does go into the end zone turns into basically like a touchback. So the Crusaders will get the ball at the 20-yard line. They get to pick their hash. They chose right in the middle. And so it's just like a touchback would be on a kickoff or anything like that. So Heelan takes over at their own 20 with 6:38 left in the third quarter. Tight, packed together. A lot of motion and movement, pushing around, but the ball carrier's gained 5 yards, and he's back quite a ways. So going to have to stay low and be physical and not let them break off any big chunks. So it's 2nd and 5 from the 26. Pitch back to number 24, Saltzman. Tackle is made right near the line of scrimmage again by Reese Spieler. Spieler's kind of been all over the place. Made some big plays on offense, made some big plays on defense. So that'll bring up another big 3rd down for the Crusaders. Time's flying by with only 6 minutes left in the third quarter. A little bit of motion, looks to be a pass, rolling out. Covered fairly well except for the one down the middle of the field. They covered everything else, and that's that big play we just could not let happen. Kind of a throwback to the backside. He just kind of lost him on the back end of it all. So a big gain, big pass. A little bit of a momentum switch for the Crusaders. Bulldogs looked like they had them, and everything on the play side was kind of dead. And Gangler turned around, found Saltzman. Someone had lost their man and maybe lost focus for a minute, and that opens up for a big play. So now they have 1st and 10. Another pass to big number 19, Salisbury. That's the play they tried on 4th down in the first half, and they just overthrew him, so they feel pretty comfortable with that play. That'll bring up 2nd and 5. So the Bulldogs have done a great job of holding the Crusader offense in check, but one big play and flip the field. Here they go, handing it off to Big Haggerty, and he's not going to get stopped. They had 10 guys pushing, 9 guys pushing, 1 guy carrying, and then the quarterback celebrating. That's all that turned out to be. So after a big play by the Crusaders, they will score their first touchdown of the night on a 5-yard run by their big fullback, number 5, Haggerty. They do a little swinging gate here. We'll see if they snap. It is an odd number up there with 15, so they do snap it. They do throw it, and they do get it. So that basically evens it up, for lack of better words. And now it's just a 1-score game. So after being pinned deep twice in this to start the second half, Lamar's went for a field goal on 4th down, just missed it. And the Crusaders answer on a big 3rd down play. They roll out, throw it back across the field, and end up getting a big, big play out of Saltzman. So now the Bulldogs need to answer. It's great when things are going well. It's great when you're scoring touchdowns and stopping everybody, but that's not how the game's always played. So we'll see how we go here. I would not be one bit surprised if they don't kick it to Sioux. No offense to Connor Jalis back there, but Sioux has proven that he is fairly electric and can change field position himself fairly quickly. So Jalis and Sioux at the 10. Got some upbacks right in front of them, about 15 yards. And Sabanos goes, pooches it. That's going to be to number 35, maybe? Bo Wadley. Bo Wadley wasn't afraid of any contact, did a great job of catching it. I was pretty confident they weren't going to get it to Sioux there. But that's a great job by the young sophomore to just field the ball, go straight upfield, get what you can. And the biggest thing on a play like that is you just want to end the play with the ball. So Did a great job there, getting us out to the 32-yard line where we'll take over on our second possession of the second half. A little bit more spread out here. David Lusink in the flats. A little bit of a bobble before David has a little contact there and then gets pushed back to the huddle by some people, making sure that he takes care of business. There's still a lot of game left, and you want to make sure that you're in here for all of that stuff. So Connor Jalis comes in for David Lusink. And looks like we're going to go in a tight set here on 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs from the 36-yard line. Handoff to Keon. This has been successful. Keon's got speed. He's got the first down. Great job. Connor Jalis with a great block. He's coming in here from he was on the head of that and kind of got pushed around, but did a great job of maintaining his leverage and keeping the guy out of the play. So another first down for the Bulldogs. Be a great answer to get a nice long drive or just finish with some points here and make everybody feel a little bit better. Tyler turns around, talks to his running back, Riley Sadowski. 2-by-2 set out of the Bulldogs. A little bit of motion out of Keon. Fake to Keon, up the middle to Sadowski. He is a big bruising back. And they blew him dead before he was tackled. He was still spinning and moving, but safety first, you know, so they want to make sure that nobody's getting injured out there taking shots they don't need to take. But solid 4-yard run there on first down. Puts you at 2nd and 6 at the 49-yard line, excuse me. Looked up at the scoreboard. Mr. Copperoot's just a little bit behind on that. So, 3:19 left. 2nd down, Tyler Iverson under center. Believe we've got Doherty in the backfield again. A nice strong run will put the Bulldogs in a good position on 3rd down. A lot of options with 3 minutes left. Elijah Doherty has really been a workhorse in this second half, pounding away. He doesn't get taken down with the first tackler very often. So, big 3rd down here. Crowd's getting excited over on the Heelan side. There it is again. You can't take him down with just one man. He just doesn't get tackled. That's a great run. Didn't have a lot in front of him, but Elijah did a great job of keeping his feet moving. No offense to the lineman up front, but they didn't give him a whole lot of help, and he battled his way for that first down. That was a great, strong run by Elijah Doherty to end up getting them that first down. They'll hurry up to the line and get that tight formation again and see if they can maybe stretch something out here. Tyler with the cadence to Keon. And that is big number 52, Liam Cleary, on the tackle. Outside linebacker. Looks like he's almost playing a defensive end position there. Spiked right across the outside of the tackle. And looks like they got an overload of some sort to the top side. Tyler's going to keep it. No, a little trickery. I don't know who has it, but it looks like David Lusink does. This is where you love those ESPN booths where you can see a replay, because I'm not sure how David Lusink ended up with the ball right there, to be totally honest with you, but it was a first down. It looked like Tyler handed it off to Keon, and then Keon handed it off to Tyler, or Keon handed it off to David, excuse me, and then David ran it down to the 18, 19-yard line. Great play, great design. It's very similar to what Heelan's been doing with their cross-buck action and their movement back and forth. So a little bit more to Keon. Great block by David Lusink. Keon Butcher, to the 2-yard line. Great block by David Lusink on the edge. They're going to call a hold, though. Not sure where that was at. It may have been on the edge, may have been back towards the middle a little bit. Either way, when they call it, it's what it is, so we have to keep on moving on. So that'll give you a 2nd and 20, or 1st and 20, excuse me, from the 28, 30-yard line. Oh, it was behind the line of scrimmage. So that's a 12-yard loss. Yikes. So that will give you a 1st and 22, if my math's right. And the clock's going, so that'll bring us under 1 minute left in the third quarter. So 1st and 22 for the Bulldogs from the 30-yard line. A lot of press coverage on the top side. Passing the ball. Tyler open. David Lusink, I believe that is. Gets drug out of bounds. And there's going to be another penalty. Illegal motion. So the official on the Heelan side over there threw a penalty of some sort of illegal motion. So we'll lose 5 there. We're going the wrong way. I hope Coach Vigdahl wants an explanation of who's doing this and what's happening, and he's not going to get it. They're not going to talk to him. Here comes the official. He's going to talk to him about what's going on here. So I don't know if he likes the explanation, but he also knows he can't do anything about it, so he's going to come back over here and get ready for the next play. So we are now 1st and 27 from the 35. Not a lot of plays for that one, but you know what? One play at a time, get you down into a position where good things can happen with 30 seconds left in this third quarter. Tyler drops back. He's got some space and swallowed up right about the line of scrimmage. Looked like he may try to run that and then kind of thought a second about it. Looks like they did get him for a 1-yard loss, so that will go down as a sack and bring it to 2nd and 28. But I think it'll also take us to the start of the fourth quarter. So Bulldogs held scoreless there in the third quarter. And Heelan, after a big pass play nonetheless, gets it down there and they get their first score of the game. So going into the fourth quarter, Lamar's will be up 15-8 with 12 minutes left to play. We'll be right back. All right, so 12 minutes left in the game here in Lamar's at Jim Lorenzen Field. 2nd and 28 for the Bulldogs to start the fourth quarter from the 36-yard line. Looking to try to chip into this and see what we can get maybe into a position. They go back to that double handoff that they went to for Lusink for the big gain and got a few more yards back. There's two teams playing between the tackles and trying to be opportunistic in the pass game. So 3rd and quite a few right here, and we'll see what Lamar tries to do. I would assume it's 4-down territory. I don't think Giovanni or whoever the kickers are probably have a leg for here. I don't know if this is a punt zone. So 3rd and 21, Tyler drops back to pass. He's got quite a bit of pressure. Probably needs to, took a hard hit. didn't have a whole lot of time to make any decisions, and now it's for sure punt time. So Mason Gangler will drop back to punt. Snap and punt are vital here. Andrew Fafita and Connor Jalis look to be the wide guys. Number 22 for Heelan, Sir Brandon Watts, is back there to receive. Keon jumps out there as the punter. The punt is off. A very nice punt. Go get it and down this thing. Great punt by Mason. Keep it there, keep it there, keep it there. At the 11-yard line, Heelan will have to move the ball down the field in order to tie this game up. So Lamar's has done a great job of holding them in check for most of the night, and they'll look to do it again. As everybody gets ready, it's great to see people in the stands again. Like we said before, the student section on both sides is full. Everybody has cowboy hats on, it looks like, on both sides. I'm not sure if they meant to match or not. It's great to be out here on a nice night. Handoff up the middle. Not sure where the ball's at. I'm going to follow the scrum, and somebody got the first down. I have no idea who it is because there's a scrum of people. Cramp for player by Heelan. I'm assuming it's a cramp. Someone just grabbed his leg and put it above his head, so if it's not, that's probably not very safe. So that'll be an injury timeout. Number 52, Liam Cleary, played some offense and some defense tonight, and he's worn out. So he's going to go get that cramp attended to. And that'll be it'll be a first down for the Crusaders. 1st and 10 from the 26 for the Heelan Crusaders. Handoff up the middle again. Bounced it outside by number 33. Going the wrong way. Gets tackled by a host of Bulldogs. There was a few different guys in there. And I think Alex Allen ended up making the final contact with him, but looked like Elijah Doherty was in there. Villapano did not have a whole lot of space to move, so he did work his way back to the line of scrimmage, which is important. 2nd and 10 from the 25, just under 10 minutes left. Looks like he was pushed out of bounds, so the clock is stopped. Snap. Drops back to pass. Right through his hands. And a big hit by David Lusink after the play. Number 19 had to go right through his hands. Michael Salisbury. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 12 or 11. Not sure if they must have lost yards on the previous play, and I didn't have it right before. So 3rd and 11. Probably a passing down, but they have just scrummed it for 10 or 11 yards a couple different times today. So time will tell. Looks like a rollout. That pass back to number 19. Again, that's a hold they didn't call. That is their favorite play. Just a little dump. They just kind of let him sit. He doesn't really do much. He turns around, and the quarterback just throws the ball right to him. They've had a positive play on that going in for their touchdown, and then he was open the first time they ran it and just kind of got overthrown. So big 3rd down conversion for the Crusaders. Sione Fafita on the tackle. Bulldogs look like they had it stuffed up there for a while. Number 21, Robert Cooper on the carry on the pitch. Number 2, David Lusink. Maybe 31, Reese Spieler on the tackle. Second and 8. 9 minutes left. Cal Eckstein was also in on that tackle. Packing it tight, looking to take advantage of the opportunities. Pitched Backwards to number 24, Saltzman, who had the nice long return, or the long reception, excuse me. And he got it out to the 49.5-yard line, so just short of the 50. Tackled by Alex Allen will bring up another big third down. 3rd and 5 for the Crusaders. Big Brandon Vanderslice hustles onto the field. And number 57, Carter Jennis, I believe that's who that was, hustled off the field. So this would be a huge stop and force the Crusaders to make a decision on what they want to do. They pack it tight. Same play that we ran to Lusink a couple times, and they also have success with it to Saltzman. Nice tackle and drive out of bounds. Kind of surprised both ways there hasn't been something said about a lot of the trash talk on both sides. Usually the officials jump on that right away. It seems like there's been a lot of it both ways, but I guess it might be part of the game. So that's a first down for the Crusaders at the 40-yard line. Looking to go in for the tie or go ahead if they would go for 2. And the 40-yard line is the place where this play will start. Little bit of motion, pitch back to Cooper. Reese Spieler was right there. And the tackle was by Riley Sadowski. David Lusink looked to be in there. Derek Allen. So another 4 or 5 yard gain for the Crusaders. Some linemen shuffling in and out for them. The Bulldogs continue with the crew they have out there. Two wings. Number 21 around the outside. A lot of guys getting pushed out of the way and still not tackled. Number 21, Robert Cooper, running very, very hard for that first down. So they look to be in a position where they're pretty comfortable right now. 67, Brandon Vanderslice hustled back. Looked like he hustled back for that tackle. Another first down for the Crusaders with just over 7 minutes left in the game in Bulldog territory. They've stuck to the script, and they've been successful in the second half. Around the edge, Reese Spieler needs some help. He's doing a great job of forcing it inside. Did his job. David Lusink and Riley Sadowski there on the tackle. Reese Spieler did a great job of doing his job, forcing them to stay inside to his help. Big Brandon Vanderslice coming off the field here. Looks like he might be a little dinged up. Big fella plays a lot of plays. So 2nd and 8. Lots of linemen shuffling in and out for the Crusaders. Keeping the Crusaders in a 3rd and long would be a big step for pass. Big play by Tate Salette. He might have gotten away with a little bit of a tug on the jersey there, but if you block, you can be held. So as number 19, Salisbury has kind of let him in, but he pushes him down, and when he did that, Tate kind of grabbed onto him a little bit to hold his position and forced him off target a little bit. So a great play by Tate to be right where he needed to be. 16 seconds left on the play clock. 5:36 left on the game clock. Bulldogs up by a score. Snap from shotgun. And Gangler throws it wide. So that will bring up a 4th down. I would assume they're going to go for this. They haven't shown that they can move the ball down the field a lot. And they know that. They know that their offense is predicated on chunk plays. So here we go. This could be the game. The crowd gets excited here. 4th and 11 from the 26-yard line. This is not where Heelan is comfortable, but they are capable. Gangler drops back. There's a hold. Deep ball. intercepted. No, incomplete. What a great play by Reese Spieler. Easily could have intercepted it, but had the wherewithal to just catch and kind of put it down so that way they get the ball out here at the 26-yard line. That was a great heady play by an experienced senior that's played lots and lots of sports. I'm not sure why they moved it back a yard. It should go the other way on the other side to the 26. Lamar somehow lost a yard without having a play, but they get possession, and that's the most important thing. So the play clock's going. Alex Allen coming on a little bit later. Great stand by the defense. Now, a 5-minute drive or a touchdown would be huge for the outcome of this game. Keon in motion, hand off to Doherty up the middle. This might be exactly what they want. Here he goes. Connor Jalis out in front of him. Great run by Doherty, flipping the field. A great run by Doherty, bouncing off people and getting into position. So they flip the field, get it over, 5 minutes left, no hurry to snap the ball right now. You don't want to take yourself out of any momentum, but at the same time, you don't need to hurry to snap the ball. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to take the play clock under 15 every single play. Maybe not this one, but something that you definitely want to talk about. Elijah goes again, stay in bounds, hold on to the ball. Another great run. So keep moving the ball, hopefully moving the sticks, and salting this game away for the Bulldogs. Maybe. So 2nd and 3 from the 34, 4 minutes left. Looks like Tyler's going to take the play clock under 10. It's a great heady play by him. Handoff, no place to go. Let's just make sure we have the ball there. Whole lot of nowhere to go on that one. Elijah had a big guy right in his grill before he could do much about it. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 6, 7. Caden LaFleur on that tackle. Busted right through there and didn't give Lamar's a lot of options. So the 37-yard line. Tyler is in shotgun. They're going to pass the ball. Going to run the ball. Cuts back. He's really, really close to the first down. I think he's going to be just short by about 1.5 yards. You know, I think Coach Vigdal has plenty of time, 3 timeouts. Let this thing run down and talk about it maybe. Unless he's got one that he knows he wants to go to. Big Brandon Vandersly standing over here on the sideline, so not sure what happened to him, but looks like Coach is going to let this thing run down to just a couple seconds left. That'll put him right around the 2:35 mark, and then he'll call a timeout. And it's not over because I do believe Heelan has all 3 timeouts left, but a first down would do a pretty hefty bit to putting this thing away. So it's been a back and forth. Lamar took the lead on the first possession, went into halftime up 15-0. Had a great opportunity, missed a field goal after a big stand to start the second half. Heelan on a 3rd down rolls out to their left, throws over the middle of the field, which most coaches tell you that's probably not what you want to do. But when the guy's open and you convert, it looks like a great play. So they did that, had about a 60-yard gain down inside the 10-yard line and ended up punching it in and then did a little swinging gate action for the 2-point conversion. Lamar's 4th and 2 from the 32. looking to get a first down. Tyler up under center. Keon in motion. Doherty, touchdown Bulldogs. I'm calling it before he gets there. That's game. That is not game. I apologize. I get excited, but that is a great gain. And that'll put the Bulldogs up a couple scores. And that's huge. Heelan had to sell out to try to stop the run. I think they guessed on the wrong side. And it looks like the Bulldogs are going to go up a couple more points here. So 21-8 now with 2:33 left. Giovanni Kabongo in to kick. Tegan Kazel to hold. Snap, hold, kick. A little bit slower, but it went through the uprights. And that's going to make it 22-8. And with 2:33 left in the game, the Bulldogs look to be in good shape to get Coach Ken Vigdal's first W as a Bulldog head coach. You can tell they're excited. Excited for them, excited for all the players. But there still is 2:33 left to finish this thing out. Just got word that HMS is up 30-21 over Galen right now. That was probably about the same time as ours. So see if Galen can come back this week after the opposite happened to them last week. So maybe they've got some magic there for them. So Giovanni Kabongo will tee it up. His bright green shoes, youngster out there ready to kick it deep. The last thing Lamar's can afford right now is any type of long return. You want to keep it buried deep like you did previously. A couple other scores in the area as we're teeing this up. Woodbury Central is down 13-12 to Logan Magnolia. East over North, 33-0 at halftime. Giovanni runs up and kicks it, and that's deep. Pins it, gets him back to the one. If you can get through there, that's going to make it a long one. Great kick, make the tackle, finish it off. Doesn't get to the 20. Great job by the Bulldog coverage team, and great job by the young Giovanni Kabongo. That's excitement. That's what it's about. He's got teammates meeting him over on the side. They realize how important it is, especially against a team like Heelan that takes a little bit longer getting down the field with the style of offense they play. Pinning them deep is huge. So now Heelan has to play from behind. Down 2 scores with 2:25 left. They do have all 3 of their timeouts, but I don't think throwing the ball is exactly where they feel comfortable. That guy was moving. They didn't call it. Little out route will be incomplete. Reese Spieler was right there on the tackle. Lamar's just looking to keep things in front. If you can get something, running under something, jumping a route, might be a pick 6 here, and that would be the nail in the coffin. But you have to make sure that you keep everything in front of you. I think Coach Van Arloo just told his defensive backs that exact same thing. Another dropped ball by the Crusaders. Looked like a good ball from Gangler, but Saltzman, who's done a lot, he's probably pretty tired. He's carried the ball a lot, been beat up a lot in this game. Just couldn't pull that one in. So 3rd and 10 from the 17. Heelan will go in there 2-by-2. Little bit of pressure, and a sack by the Bulldogs. Sack by number 57, Carter Jennis. And Heelan's going to trot out the punt team. So, you hate to say anything ridiculous here, but it looks like the Bulldogs are in really good shape here to get that first W of the year and that first win for Coach Vigdal as a Bulldog coach. Punt is off. David can just get away. Let it roll. Don't do anything ridiculous. And since they punted, I'm assuming they're not going to probably call a whole bunch of timeouts, so we might be a couple victory formation kneel downs away from the end of this one. A lot of high fives and hugs on the sideline. Far from a perfect game, but it's always great when you win. The good thing is it's second week, and you will always have things to improve on. But the winning of it all helps a lot. So Tyler will go up under center. Doesn't look like they're in true take a knee formation here. Riley Sadowski is a load of a back, and he's going to keep running the ball. Whistle's blown. They are going to call timeouts. Okay? So they will burn some timeouts. They're pointing at the clock. I'm assuming they think that the clock ran longer than it should have, but the Bulldogs will come up 2nd and 10 from the 37-yard line. Looking to probably get one first down and in this thing. A few more plays, or a few more scores, excuse me, from around the area. Hinton over MMCRU in the fourth quarter, 7-6. West Sioux over Sioux Center, 42-14. Sioux City West and South Sioux City, 13-13 down in the city. SBL over Central Lyon, 28-14. Akron and Alta Aurelia, 15-15 tie. So we're at 1:20 left in the fourth quarter, 2nd and 9. Tyler Iverson back in shotgun. They're sending everybody. And Sadowski's running through people. May have almost put the ball on the ground there. We don't want to reach that ball out, young man. That ball is the most important thing you have right now. So that'll make it a 3rd and 5. Heelan calls another timeout. Student section urging the parents to stand up and encourage the Bulldogs, cheer on the Bulldogs as they close out the first win of the 2021 season. Next week, the Bulldogs will take on Sioux City East here at Jim Lorenzen Field. Come out and support, be part of the great experience, the great facilities we have here at Lamar's. Take in the football game. Mr. Hector, is there a freshman room next week? East freshman here? The freshmen will start at probably about 4:15, and then the varsity will take the field after that. So I encourage you to come out, support the Bulldogs. A little bit of motion out here from the Bulldogs. Connor Jalis looking to get the edge. And it doesn't matter if he got the whole edge, but he got the first down, and that's game, folks. Now you can take that ever wonderful formation. "12 personnel, victory formation." There's nothing better in the game of football than this formation. Take a knee and enjoy the feeling of everybody being happy after a great win in week 2 of the season. Tyler's going to let the play clock run down a little bit more. And if they do this slow enough, that will be game. But they didn't. They're going to have to snap one more time. So they're going to have to snap the ball one more time. It's going to be really close. Go ahead and snap it. And that will be a great win for the Bulldogs. Great team win for the Bulldogs. The defense was outstanding all night. Had one broken play. Otherwise, they were fantastic. The offense did a great job of moving the ball and allowing the defense to do what they could. So, from Jim Lorenzen Field, The final score is 22-8 in favor of the Lamar's Bulldogs. Teams will walk across the field, shake hands. And next week we'll bring the Sioux City East team to Jim Lorenzen Field. So I'll get stats here real quick, and then we'll sign off. So let me get stats, and then we'll go from there. I'm going to get stats for my dad.
So keep it running because he's going to get stats, even if you have to just point it at the field, okay?
We got some fireworks going off over here. That'll make some people happy, some people unhappy. All right, so some stats for the night. Lamar's had 358 total yards on 52 plays to Heelan's 199 on 44 plays. Passing yards for Lamar's, they had 65 yards, 6 for 7. So they didn't complete any passes. They didn't even throw any passes in the second half, apparently. But they didn't really need to. They did what they needed to on the ground. Passing for Heelan, they were 5 for 14 for 91 yards. Rushing, Lamar's had 293 yards on 45 carries to Heelan's 108 yards on 30 carries. Individually, Tyler Iverson was 6 for 7 for 65 yards and a touchdown, just like he was in the first half. Caleb Gangler and Quinn Olson combined to be 5 for 14 for the Heelan Crusaders for 91 yards. Elijah Doherty led the way on the ground, 18 carries for 150 yards. David Lusink had 5 carries for 69 yards. Keon Butcher had 6 carries for 39. Riley Sadowski had 6 carries for 17. Tyler Iverson had 8 carries for 13, and Connor Jalis had 2 carries for 5 and salted it away at the end to get that first down. Reese Spieler, David Lusink, and Keon Butcher all had some catches in the first half, but we've gone over that, so we don't need to hit that again. Teddy Salzman had the big reception, one catch for 64 yards that set up the touchdown for the Crusaders. David Lusink on the defensive side also led the way with 8 tackles. Elijah Doherty had 6. Riley Sadowski had 4. And Derek Allen had 3. Sione Fafita had 2. Cal Eckstein had 2. Tay had 2. Tegan Kazel had 1, and there's a host of others. Alex Allen, Drew Gallus, Connor Jalis, Brandon Vanderslice, Trent Marino, Carter Jennis all had 1. On the punting side, Mason Gangler had 2 nice punts, 1 inside the 20, which really made it tough for the Crusaders to do much. So that'll be it for tonight. Join us next week out here. Come out here, take part in the festivities. I think there might be a cheer camp, someone said, next week. So come out, support the Bulldogs. But if family is out of town, let them know that we do the live stream. But we'd love you to come out. That's the priority. Come out and support our student athletes throughout the week. Golf's been doing a great job. They've been on their way. I meant to talk about cross country. They have a meet tomorrow. They have a meet on Tuesday at Brunsville. If you've never been to a cross country meet, Tuesday at Brunsville is a great opportunity to go out and support them. The Brunsville Golf Course, middle school starts shortly after 4, and then they'll continue on from there with the JV and the varsity boys and girls. So cross country meets this week, volleyball at East this week. So lots of great events by the Lamar's kids. So come out and support them all whenever you get an opportunity to. I know sometimes it might be easier. We might even be used to staying inside, but I encourage you to come out and support these student athletes. So thanks again, and we will talk to you next week.